Welcome to the doubles final of the $25,000 futures tournament in Sheffield. Me and my partner, Quarantine Denoli, got here by a very solid win in the first round against Chidek McCormick. If you haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link for that in the description. And then a really tight and tough match where we got through in the quarterfinals against Hans Houghton. Really tough match. Make sure to check that out if you haven't. So make sure to check that before this, so there's no spoilers to this one. But yeah, unfortunately, the semifinals we got a walkover. Our opponents had some issues, so they had to withdraw from that one. But yeah, that brings us to today. So we have some very tough opponents in this final. We're playing against Scott Duncan together with Marcus Willis. I think both of them are ranked in the 300s of doubles. And if you haven't checked it out, the mystery man that we're going to play against that I mentioned the last week is Marcus Willis. He actually has a crazy...
Meet British tennis player Marcus Willis, who during one fateful week in July of 2016 had one of the best winning streaks in the history of professional tennis.
One of the best winning streaks in Wimbledon tennis history. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to check out a really cool summary made by Cold Tennis. So check that out if you haven't. If you're curious to see how much money I actually made from this tournament, make sure to watch all the way to the end, where I will break down all the financials from this tournament week. So as the match kicked off, we tried to make a lot of returns and try to be very solid on them. We kind of knew that like Parker is the one that's usually very aggressive with his game style, and then Marcus Willis, like they're a tough combination because Marcus Willis is a very tricky player. He rarely hits two shots the same in a row, and like just keeps on mixing it up. Very good hands, comfortable lobbing, and those things. So them combined is a very tricky combo, but really started off the match great, making a lot of returns, kept putting ourselves in a good spot, and yeah, managed to break straight away. So kind of came out running in the gate through the gate, just off to a great start. And but as I always say, it's not a break unless you hold. And yeah, they really came clawing back. Really solid return game by them. They just kept on staying on us, and that's what's kind of tricky about them, because Parker, like, he's really aggressive with the returns, takes it super early and just kind of clocks it, and he really did a good job of hitting around us, which was tough. And then Marcus just kind of like changing up the pace a lot, chipping lobs, and yeah, just tricky to play against. So they managed to get the break back straight away. Now all of a sudden they get it back to 1-1. It's almost like they're in the driver's seat, even though it's 1-1. But yeah, they have a great game there. Marcus serves well. They get up to 2-1, and then at 2-1, like they just clocked some returns. It's kind of crazy. They just kept on hitting the returns past us, and it's kind of a thing in doubles. You kind of leave the line a little bit. You just try to cover the main angles and everything, but they really just managed to get it around us there. And yeah, it was just too good. And then all of a sudden we're down 3-1, and then they serve a great game, and now we're down 4-1 all of a sudden. But just trying to get into the match, making our serves and just putting pressure on them. But it was just tricky, because they have that combination, and that combined with them actually serving really well. They just kept on holding their serves, and yeah, we kept on holding our serves pretty comfortably both ways. We kept on doing like different things, trying to chip lobs and everything to get into the rallies, but they're always kind of comfortable. When we chip them, they have to run back and smash, but they hit the overhead, and then the other guy like covers up the court really well. And yeah, credit to them, like they really doing a good job, of like maintaining control of the points throughout the whole, like especially their service game. When they started off in front, they just did such a good job with like covering up the angles, kept on putting pressure on us. Even if we came up with some good shots, they just kept on scraping to stay in the points over and over again. And yeah, they were just a little bit better there. And Hey guys, sorry to stop you there, but do you want to maybe take your tennis to the next level? I'm proud to announce that I can now offer you online video coaching. If that's of interest to you, you simply go to this link down below, or I'll make sure to post it in the description as well. The way it works is very simple. You'll record yourself playing a bit of tennis, and then you send that to me. I'll review and go over it together with you, and then I'll make sure to come back to you with some very valuable feedback, some tips and tricks that can really help take your tennis to the next level. This is a real win-win project, as by purchasing this service, you directly support my tennis journey, and I'll make sure to support yours back. Thank you, and let's get back to the video. Kept on holding their service the whole time and managed to serve it out 6-3 in the first set. So for the second set, I want to be honest, we didn't really think about changing our strategy too much. We just felt like they really connected with a couple of games there. They got the break, and I feel like we weren't returning that bad. They just kept on serving really solidly, making a lot of first serves, and it was tough for us to get around it. So got off to a good start, holding the first game. They held again to 1-1 But then once again, I don't know if it was me maybe serving a little weaker or something, or they just got comfortable in my service game. But yeah, they just clocked it past us and managed to get the break there straight away. So now we're down a set and a break, so down 1-2, really tough spot, and it's a tricky point here, because we haven't managed to get through them except for the first game of the match. It's maybe an issue, you're trying a little too much, trying to slap the returns harder, trying to chip it a little more, just always trying, same kind of scenarios I bring up in almost all my videos, you just start doubting yourself a little bit once you go down and the thing you're doing is not working. It's really tough to kind of maintain the whole thing, maintain your game plan and really put pressure on them to kind of come out on top and yeah, just win the match compared to you losing it. But I gotta be honest, I feel like we did a pretty good job, trying to keep on putting pressure on them, putting the balls in play and doing what we could. Kept on holding our service game, but yeah, it was tough. They were actually just really solid in their service game. I feel like we kept on making a lot of returns, but we just had such a hard time getting through them unless we clocked the winner on the return, because they hit the first volley and then it just kind of got set, and it was really tricky for us to find a way past them. And yeah, they just kept on holding serves, and we actually ended up losing the match in the end, 6-4 in the second set. So pretty tough match, we just went down a break in both sets, and just too solid for us there. Yeah, so tough one there, but gotta be honest, gotta give credit where credit is due. They were just a number too big for us today. I felt like they were really solid the whole way through. Maybe the first game they slipped up a little bit, but other than that, I feel like they just maintained a very high level, and they didn't really give us an opportunity to get back into the match. And I feel like they were just in the driver's seat throughout the whole match. Duncan, I think they've played 7 tournaments together, and I actually think they've won 4 of them. So yeah, good job to them. But before I leave you guys, we got to get into the good stuff, I guess, that maybe is some of you been waiting for. The financials of this tournament. How much money did I actually make from this week of pro tournament, where I lost in the first round of singles and made the finals of doubles? So my total prize check comes out to 582.2 pounds, which equals to about $700. So yeah, $700 is not too bad, but unfortunately when we start to factor in the expenses, it doesn't look as pretty anymore. Starting off with travel expenses, getting to the tournament with flight and train, that equal to about $200. I stayed in a single room this week, and every night was 80 pounds, which is about $95. So 7 nights there, that's about $665 just for that. So food expenses, every day I'd say I eat for about $50, so that's $350 for 7 days. And then just minor expenses, stringing wise, I think I strung 3 or 4 rackets, so with 20 bucks a racket, that's $60-80 there. So when we total all of that together, we land on about, so say $1,300 in the red for the whole week. Pull that out with the prize money, yeah, we end up with about minus $600 for this week, which is not great. Obviously the prize money is far less in doubles, but to be honest, I think in this week, or pretty much every week on the future circuit, I would say there's probably 3 guys, maybe 4, that break even or actually make money in the tournament, compared to like the 50-60 guys that compete in it. So it is kind of a investment you have to make, I guess. I think we gained 14 ranking points each in doubles, which kind of brings me from like 420 in the doubles ranking to 390. So solid jump there of 30 points. But yeah, that's everything I got for you guys here. That kind of sums up the whole week in Sheffield. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and make sure to stay tuned for the next one.